Biblical miracles are events that defy natural laws and are attributed to divine intervention, serving as manifestations of God's power and presence throughout the Scriptures. These miracles range from grand, awe-inspiring spectacles, like the parting of the Red Sea, to more subtle yet profound events, such as Jesus turning water into wine. The concept of miracles is integral to understanding the faith and beliefs within Christianity, as these events not only provide evidence of God's omnipotent force, but also reflect his ongoing relationship with humanity. Within the context of the Bible, miracles are not mere wonders or acts of magic, but are purposeful, often meant to convey deeper spiritual truths or fulfill divine promises. The significance of introducing biblical miracles as a foundational aspect of mysterious miracles, unveiling the astonishing wonders of the Bible, is multifaceted. Primarily, it sets the stage for exploring how these extraordinary occurrences have shaped religious narratives, inspired faith, and influenced theological discussions throughout history. Miracles, by their very nature, challenge the boundaries of human understanding, inviting believers and skeptics alike to ponder the nature of faith and reason. To illustrate, consider the example of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. This event is central to Christian doctrine as it encapsulates the hope of eternal life and underscores the belief in Jesus as the Son of God. Another pivotal example is the healing of the blind man in the Gospel of John, which is not only a demonstration of divine compassion, but also an allegorical representation of spiritual enlightenment. Opinions supporting the authenticity and significance of biblical miracles often stem from faith-based perspectives. Believers view these miracles as affirmations of God's active role in the world. Conversely, skeptics may argue that these accounts are mythological or symbolic rather than historical facts, highlighting the tension between faith and empirical evidence. Alternative viewpoints might suggest that these stories serve socio-political purposes or were used to convey moral lessons rather than historical events. The topic's introductory exploration of miracles influences other aspects, such as theological interpretations, ethical implications, and even artistic representations. Understanding the context and perceived reality of these miracles can deepen our appreciation of their narrative power and their role in conveying transcendent truths. Ultimately, exploring biblical miracles enriches our comprehension of the Bible as a text that interweaves the miraculous with the mundane, challenging, and inspiring believers across generations. The concept of mysterious miracles, unveiling the astonishing wonders of the Bible, revolves around exploring and interpreting the miraculous events described in biblical narratives. Miracles in the biblical context are extraordinary occurrences that defy natural laws and are attributed to divine intervention. These events often serve to reveal the presence, power, and purposes of God, leaving both ancient and contemporary audiences in awe. The significance of this point lies in the profound impact these miracles have on faith and religion. For believers, these wonders affirm the divine nature of the Scriptures and provide tangible evidence of God's involvement in the world. They act as instruments that strengthen faith, inspire devotion, and convey moral or spiritual lessons. For skeptics, however, these accounts prompt questions about the historical accuracy and possibility of such events beyond natural explanation. Two notable examples include the parting of the Red Sea and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The parting of the Red Sea is a pivotal event in the Old Testament, showcasing God's deliverance and protection over the Israelites from Egyptian captivity. It symbolizes the triumph of faith over adversity and is celebrated in Jewish tradition as a cornerstone of divine intervention. Meanwhile, the resurrection of Jesus, a central tenet of Christian faith, serves as the ultimate miracle exemplifying victory over death and the promise of eternal life for believers. This event is foundational in Christianity, reinforcing the belief in Jesus' divinity and the hope of resurrection for humanity. Support for the authenticity of these miracles comes from religious tradition and theological interpretations, viewing them as manifestations of God's omnipotence and mystery. However, challenges and controversies arise from scientific and historical scrutiny, suggesting alternative explanations or dismissing them as allegory or legend. Critics argue for a more symbolic reading rather than literal acceptance, prompting ongoing debates between faith and reason. These miraculous events are interwoven with other aspects of biblical teachings, influencing doctrines, rituals, and the moral framework within various faith traditions. They serve as touchstones for understanding the character of God and His interaction with humanity. By exploring mysterious miracles, believers and scholars alike are encouraged to delve deeper into the Scriptures, seeking understanding of the divine mysteries and how they shape religious identity and worldview. Ultimately, they invite audiences to reflect on the intersection of faith, history, and the unexplained phenomena that continue to captivate human imagination across generations. Understanding the nature and purpose of miracles in the Bible requires delving into both theological interpretations and the historical context of the Scriptures. A miracle in the biblical sense can be described as an extraordinary event that transcends human understanding and natural laws, often perceived as divine intervention that demonstrates God's power and presence. These miraculous events are woven throughout the narrative of the Bible, serving various purposes such as demonstrating God's authority, validating prophetic messages, and nurturing the faith of believers. The significance of understanding biblical miracles lies in their central role in the narrative and theology of the Bible. They act as signs that reveal aspects of God's character, such as His omnipotence, compassion, and desire for a relationship with humanity. By studying these miracles, believers and scholars gain insight into the spiritual lessons intended by these stories, which continue to inspire faith and devotion. Specific examples from the Bible illustrate the multifaceted nature of miracles. The parting of the Red Sea in the book of Exodus showcases a miraculous deliverance that emphasizes God's protective power over His people, the Israelites. Similarly, the feeding of the 5,000, documented in the Gospels, highlights themes of provision and compassion, showcasing Jesus' divine nature and care for the needy. These instances reflect miracles' roles not just as historical or literal occurrences, but as symbolic narratives with enduring spiritual significance. Scholars and theologians often support the idea that miracles in the Bible are crucial for understanding the divine message in the context of the Scriptures. Miracles are seen as vehicles for revealing God's will, testing faith, and demonstrating the divine kingdom's values. However, the concept of miracles does not exist without controversy. Skeptics question the plausibility of such events, suggesting natural or psychological explanations for these extraordinary occurrences. In addition, some argue whether the Bible's miracles should be interpreted literally or metaphorically, resulting in diverse theological perspectives. Understanding the nature and purpose of biblical miracles connects intricately with other aspects of the main topic: mysterious miracles. Unveiling the Astonishing Wonders of the Bible, as it lays the groundwork for discussing the broader impact and interpretations of these miracles. By analyzing their purpose, one can appreciate how biblical miracles have shaped religious teachings, art, culture, and the enduring quest for understanding the divine. This exploration opens a dialogue that crosses the boundaries of faith, philosophy, and science, inviting a diverse range of thoughts and beliefs. The concept of mysterious miracles, unveiling the astonishing wonders of the Bible, centers on the extraordinary events described in the Bible that transcend natural laws and human understanding, commonly referred to as miracles. These biblical miracles are seen as divine interventions, showcasing God's power and reinforcing faith through acts that seem impossible by nature's rules. They are significant as they serve not only as pivotal moments within the biblical narrative, but also as timeless symbols of faith and belief in divine will and capability. Miracles such as the parting of the Red Sea and the resurrection of Jesus are pivotal in religious teachings, highlighting moments where the divine and earthly realms intersect in miraculous ways. The significance of these wonders lies in their ability to inspire awe and reinforce beliefs. For believers, they are tangible evidence of a divine presence, challenging human understanding and encouraging a deeper investigation into the spiritual truths the Bible offers. This has resulted in centuries of theological discussion and debates, with scholars and theologians seeking to comprehend their deeper meanings and implications for faith communities. Two such miracles include the feeding of the 5,000, where Jesus uses a mere 5 loaves and 2 fish to nourish a massive crowd, illustrating themes of abundance and divine provision. Another is the story of Daniel in the lion's den, which serves as a testament to unwavering faith and divine protection. These stories transcend mere narrative, offering lessons and frameworks for understanding divine intervention as a catalyst for salvation and hope. Some scholars and theologians, such as C.S. Lewis, view these miracles as essential to the Christian faith, arguing that they reveal deeper truths about God's nature and intentions. Meanwhile, skeptics and critics may question their historical accuracy or dismiss them as mythological allegories, often citing a lack of empirical evidence. This skepticism fuels ongoing debates, raising questions about the literal versus metaphorical interpretations of biblical texts and the place of miracles within the modern landscape of faith. These miraculous occurrences connect to broader themes within the biblical narrative, such as redemption, divine providence, and the power of faith. They not only highlight the mysterious nature of God, but also invite believers to explore the depths of their own faith and understanding of the spiritual world. In doing so, they remain a crucial part of religious life and discourse, encouraging both reflection and devotion while challenging observers to look beyond the tangible world in search of divine truth and purpose.